What you looking at?
Don't creep up behind me like that, Rexby.
Oh, been biting your nails again? Why can't you wear that coat properly? You look like the Count of Monte Cristo. It's got sleeves in it. Why don't you use them?
The police are after me.
Who are?
It's not funny. I hit one of them.
You was a policeman?
I didn't know he was a policeman. Someone knocked his helmet off. Thought he was a porter.
Did you hit him?
Yeah, we were making a political protest.
Oh, not again.
Yeah, we tried to enter a meeting of the National Front and somebody called the police. Well, I didn't actually hit him. I just sort of pushed him in the back. Well, he wasn't very pleased. He turned around, he was very pale. He said, "What'd you do that for?" And I don't think he was very strong.
Yeah. What did you say?
Well, I said, "I'm sorry, I thought you were somebody else." And he says, "I'll get you for that." So I came away.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think Lenin would have left it like that.
Listen, I was the only one who stood up to the police dog.
Oh.
I wasn't frightened. I patted it. Got a cheer.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, come here.
Do you think they will come here?
Nah, I'll try the airports first. Ah, you'll be all right. Hey, you wouldn't be the first. We had one bloke stopping here, jumped in that wardrobe every time I opened the door. I don't know what he went up to. He spent more time in that wardrobe than out of it.
I don't think I'd like that very much.
Oh, we'll have to get used to wardrobes if you're going to be a revolutionary.
I don't think I'll make a very good revolutionary. I have to keep rushing off to the lavatory. Can't keep dashing off to the lavatory during a demonstration, can you?
No, not very well. No. Well, I told you, warned you, didn't I? Shouldn't have got involved with them. Anyway, if you keep this up, I shall have to give you notice.
Hey, wait a minute. What about free speech?
Look, that's not the point. You're giving this place a bad name. I've got my position to think of. I'm a member of the Conservative Club. Can't get on the billiard table as it is.
You know your trouble, Rigsby? You're a social climber.
No, well, I haven't got very far, have I? There's only one bloke down that club ever speaks to me, and he washes their glasses.
Is that why you're canvassing for him?
Yes, thought to do a bit this morning. Won him a few votes. Didn't get many arguments.
That surprises me.
I know, I had the megaphone, you see. First sign of any trouble, I gave him 1,000 decibels straight between the eyes. Yes, left him with the reds ringing. Yes, I think I did myself a bit of good this morning. With a bit of luck, I'll be playing 101 up with Colonel De Vere Brown before the week's out.
You'll never get in, Tory twit.
Oh, don't you bank on it, mate. He'll be there. Mind you, what the committee going to say when they find out I'm sheltering a Marxist, I don't know.
I've told you before, I'm not a Marxist.
Not much. Who's that on the wall, then, eh? Not your granny, is it? Another sworn enemy of capitalism and shaving. What have you Marxists got against shaving, anyway?
Look, I'm not a Marxist. As a matter of fact, I'm a Maoist.
Ah, yes. I've noticed your eyes are getting quite horizontal these days. Must be all those crispy noodles you've been eating. Anyway, how can you be a Maoist in a local election? And as far as I can see, it's a straight fight between Conservative and Labour with modest intervention from the Liberals. So unless they're putting someone up from the Lotus House, your vote's going to be wasted, mate.
I shall vote Labour, of course.
Oh, what do you mean? You've never had a pair of overalls on in your life.
Look, the workers and the students must unite, right? We must link arms against the common enemy.
You get anyone linking arms with you, not in those trousers. I can just see you linking arms with a 6-foot steel worker. Swapping your cucumber sandwiches for his 3-inch jam butties. What are you going to do? Offer him a glass of red wine and a whiff of your aftershave? He won't know what to make of you. Oh, oh dear. Not another one. I thought he was a funny-looking Maoist, but you're ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Only that as a Chinaman, you leave a lot to be desired. Don't you know their theory? Well, you see, the Chinese believe that when God made us, he put us all in the oven to bake. Apparently, he took us out before we were ready. The Chinese were done to a golden turn, and you lot were burned to a bloody crisp. You see, whichever way you look at it as a Chinaman, you're a definite failure.
We're not talking about race, Rigsby. We're talking about a political philosophy, right?
Yes. Well, you can't vote here anyway. You're not eligible.
At least I can lend my support.
Well, for? I mean, you should be on our side, son of a chief. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, you feel guilty.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You've been beastly to the servants. He wants to be popular. He wants to be carried shoulder high around the mud huts. Yeah, well, you better watch it. You start talking about equality, they might notice your hut's a bit bigger than theirs. Carry your shoulder high then, mate. Right down the crocodile pool.
I didn't expect you to understand, Rigsby. You're a reactionary.
No, I'm not.
You want to bring back hanging.
Oh, so what? A lot of people want to bring back hanging, mate.
Not in public, Rigsby.
Anyway, you should talk. What about your country, eh? You want to change the government there this time for the skinning men.
It's not true. We have democratic elections.
Oh, yeah.
It's what happens to the losers.
What do you mean?
It's not a pretty sight.
What happens to them, then?
Well, they take 2 saplings and tie them together. Then they tie a leg to each and cut the rope.
Hey, that's one way of losing your deposit.
It's a good idea. I saw that in a Tarzan film once. We ought to do that to the tourists and just hear the sound of ripping pinstripes.
Oh, very funny, yes. What have you got against the Tory party, anyway?
What about a 3-day week?
Well, I don't know what you're complaining about. The 5-day one never suited you. Anyway, that's not our fault. You can blame that on those mates of yours, the one with the little lights on their heads.
You can't blame the miners, mate. They were only after a decent living wage.
That's right.
Geez, could you believe anything, wouldn't you? Don't you know what's behind all these strikes, all this political unrest? Russian gold.
Russian gold? Yeah,
Sure, my God, they've certainly taken you in, haven't they, eh? You've only got to see the Red Army Ensemble dancing around singing Little Brown Jug and you think they're marvellous. Well, you're not using this place as a centre for subversion, all right?
Subversion?
Yep, no political meetings here, all right? And you can stop giving that clenched fist salute to the baker as well. Got my position to think of. I was hoping to enter the round table canoe race this year.
All we're after is a fairer society, right? All we want is more sharing.
Oh, yeah. Is that why you keep squeezing Miss Jones's toothpaste? What she thinks to all this, I can't imagine.
Ruth agrees with us.
Yeah, too right, man. She's on our side.
Oh, yes. Well, for your information, Miss Jones is a don't know.
She was a don't know, but I had a long session with her the other night. She knows now.
Well, I had a long session with her yesterday and she agreed with every word I said.
That's because she's frightened you'll cut her water off.
Excuse me, Miss Jones. I've just heard the most disturbing news. In fact, I could hardly believe my ears.
It's not true, Mr. Rigsby. We're just good friends. What?
Pardon? I mean about the election.
Oh, the election.
Yes. I mean, those two upstairs have just had the nerve to say that you're going to vote Labour.
Oh, yes, I know. Philip can be so persuasive.
Oh, but you can't, Miss Jones. Not a woman of your background.
Well, to tell you the truth, I simply can't make up my mind. I feel so responsible. Especially after watching Shoulder to Shoulder. I keep thinking of all those women chaining themselves to railings.
Yes, but I explained it all to you yesterday, Miss Jones.
I know.
Yes, I mean, don't you remember I showed you how we were going to balance the payments, encourage investment, eradicate unemployment and cure inflation? Don't you remember? I did it all on the back of that cigarette packet.
Yes, I know, but you see, I still have doubts.
Yes, well, I can understand that, Miss Jo, but you must remember our world is in danger.
What world is that, Mr.
I mean,
Rigsby?
our world, Miss Jones, the Sunday afternoon game of tennis, the sound of ball against gut, scattered applause from the deck chairs.
I didn't know you played tennis.
Oh, it's never off the course before my strings went. I still remember those days, Miss Jones. I can see it now, you know, the sun slanting through the French windows as we sipped our iced lemonade. I mean, that is our world, Miss Jones.
Yes. I used to go with the young farmers, but Daddy never really approved. They did tend to be a little robust. I think it came from watching all those animals.
After the polls have closed, Miss Jones, Colonel De Vere Brown and his good lady will be having some of us back to the manor for a celebration drink. Served by the butler in the library, of course. I wondered if you'd care to come.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about Colonel De Vere Brown.
Why? What have you got against him, Miss Jones?
I'm afraid I don't like his eyes.
Oh, you can't vote against him because of his eyes, Miss Jones. I mean, what's wrong with them?
Well, don't you think they're rather cold?
Probably the glossy paper.
Are you sure it's not all those blood sports he follows?
I don't know about that. I know he watches Leeds United.
Well, I've seen pictures of him in County Life, and he's usually standing knee-deep in a pile of blood-stained feathers, with both barrels smoking.
He's got to relax sometimes.
I thought they were trying to get away from the grass shooting image.
Well, but most of those sort of men go in for shooting, Miss Jones. You know, it helps them to take the mind off things.
I'm sure it does the same for the grouse. If you don't mind,
Well, I can assure you, Miss Jones, he is not inhuman. He's got a lovely pair of Labradors.
Well, I'll think about it.
Because I was, rather counting on you, Miss Jones. You know, I've put you down for a car.
I don't need a car, Mr. Rigsby. I'm not quite decrepit.
No, of course not, Miss Jones.
I do have a pair of legs, you know.
Yes, of course, Miss Jones. Very, very nice pair too, if I may say so. I was saying to the butcher only the other day. Come on, Vienna, come on, come on. Hey, look, how many times have I told you about putting red ribbons on Vienna? That cat's conservative. At least he is during the daytime. Right? Go on, off you go. And you can take... I'm not having these up here. And you can stop that row as well. If Colonel de Vere bragged at it, nobody's... Will you shut up?
Forever, Lynn.
Yep.
You know your trouble, Rigsby? You're a snob. The way you worship the upper classes.
Well, at least they know to behave, at least the gentlemen.
Gentlemen?
Yeah, you wouldn't know the meaning of the word, of course.
But what about those rugby scrums, eh? When they all stand back and somebody's ear rolls on the floor.
That is character building.
You ought to remember the Depression, mate.
I don't need to. I get it every time I come up here.
And the hunger marches.
Hunger march? The only hunger march you have been on is when you creep downstairs one of Miss Jones's custard creams. oh, my God, oh, look at that. Oh, dear, what a face. Oh, dear. Would you buy a second-hand car from this man?
You have a job. He sells baby flesh.
Oh, yeah. Just look at it. What a face.
He's a good speaker.
God, speak, he's a demagogue. You've only got to look at those eyes. Look, ranting and raving, whipping his audience into a frenzy. I don't know what gets into him. Must be all those years among the soft toys. My God. Look at those eyes. Why, drunk with power. My God. Couldn't trust the brother. Evening. Couldn't trust the brother. Would you... Stuff that down.
Someone's eating the top off your cornet.
Oh, very fun. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't hold political meetings here. This is a private house.
You know, I must say that I'm really very surprised at a man of your intelligence voting for De Vere Brown.
What do you mean?
Well, you've only got to look at him. He's got no chin.
Oh, Dobbies, of course he's got a chin.
Oh, he's a decent enough chap. Quite sound on Dutch elm disease and swine fever, but completely lost on the important national issue.
Look, we're not interested in the important national issues round here. We're more interested in who's been fouled in the footpath.
Well, with those two Labradors of his, you won't have to look very far, will you?
Very funny. At least we get those jippos moved from down the end of the lane.
I'm quite sure he will. He's had a lot of experience. Do you realize that his ancestors actually roasted peasants over open fire? But he's too remote. He's no idea of the enormous sacrifices that have to be made.
Now, that's where you're wrong. You wait a minute now. During that last crisis, there was only one light burning in his house, and he shared the bathwater with his wife.
Well, it's about the only thing he did share. And I bet he got into it first. And what did he tell the strikers' wives, eh? No more sexual relations till the men went back to work.
He did not say that. He said no more hot dinners.
Well, we all know what he meant by that, don't we?
Oh, yeah, you should talk. What about that cottage you got in Wales and your Filipino houseboy?
What do you mean?
They're going to be a definite embarrassment when the Russians land, aren't they? Not to mention all those shares you've got in ICI.
I absolutely refuse to discuss my private affairs with you.
Right.
That's a cheap Tory jibe. I see exactly what you mean about him. I shall go straight down to the committee room.
Right, off you go.
Keep up the good work, dear boys.
Oh, keep up the good boys. Hey, you've not been linking arms with him, have you?
What's so funny?
What's so funny? Did you see that he was holding that cigarette? My God, he shouldn't be with you. He should be with the Gay Liberation Front.
That's typical of you.
What are you trying to say?
Well, he's a middle-class puff, anyone can see.
Well, you can't think of a political argument, can you? So you resort to that.
Look, you know as well as I do, he spends half his time at the ballet.
A lot of people go to the ballet.
Yes, but not with the 25-year-old milkman, they don't.
That's a cheap smear, Rigsby.
Oh, well, I'm not standing around here bandying words with you. I'm getting off to the... Now, look, no more posters up anywhere, all right?
Of course not, Rigsby. After all, It is your house.
As long as you remember that.
Oh,
Excuse me. My name's Platt. I'm your Liberal candidate.
you're much nicer than the other two.
I'm rather new to all this.
Well, I'm sure you're doing awfully well. Won't you sit down?
Thank you. Oh, I see you've been studying form.
Yes.
Can I depend upon your vote, Miss...
Miss Jones. Actually, I've always been rather liberal. It's my nature. On the other hand, I suppose I'm what people would call a political virgin. I don't seem to be able to take the plunge.
Oh, I see. You mean you're a don't know.
No, I wouldn't exactly say that. I just need a little convincing.
Well, of course, the personal approach is most important. That's why I've been going out meeting people, shaking hands. We always say you can't beat skin to skin.
I do think it's important to get to know one's candidate thoroughly, don't you agree?
Oh, yes. Would you like a pen?
Are you married, Mr. Platt?
No.
Isn't that a coincidence? Neither am I. I suppose we're both don't-knows, waiting for the right candidate.
I think I really ought to be
Oh,
going.
no, please stand up. You must be quite parched after all that public speaking. Oh, what warm hands you've got.
Well, I've been hard at it all morning.
Mr. Rigsby, this is Mr. Platt, our Liberal candidate.
Hello, Mr. Rigsby.
I was just going to get a coffee. Would you like one, Mr. Rigsby?
Could certainly do with something, Miss Jones, yes.
It won't be a moment.
Thought it would be a good idea if I introduced myself.
Oh, yeah. I saw you yesterday speaking at the Corn Exchange.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I was riveted, couldn't take my eyes off you.
Really? That's most encouraging.
Yeah. Your flies were under them.
See, I'm rather a new boy at all this. That's why I've been going, meeting people, walkabout, kissing a few babies.
Well, you're taking a chance, aren't you? The Mother's Day don't do that round here. You can catch anything from chicken pox to berry,
But I do think it's most important, shaking flesh.
You've not been doing that here.
Beg pardon?
Because you're wasting your time. She is spoken for.
Oh, I thought she was weakening.
I've thought that for years. Probably another false dawn.
Look, Mr. Rigsby, I know you have your beliefs, but we do have your interests at heart. We intend to do an awful lot for the old age pensioners. Cheaper meals, buses.
Just a minute, but I'm not a pensioner. That's 12 months Labour misrule. That I was quite young before they got in. Anyway, why do you always have to go on about the old age pensioners? What we need in this country is euthanasia.
Surely, Mr. Rigsby, that's going to...
Yeah, and all those Christmas bonuses you get. My God, you should have seen them last night in the Blue Ram. You couldn't get near the counter for pensioners. They were all on shorts. Hey, by the way, I meant to... Is that your car out there?
Oh, yes.
Oh, dearie, you should have left it under the light. They use hubcaps for ashtrays round here. They're all communists. They don't believe in private property. Well, unless it's theirs, of course.
Good Lord, is that the time?
Easily.
Well, I really must be going. I've got such a lot to do. Let's get down to the committee rooms. So sorry, Miss Jones. You did mean the Mini.
Yes, yeah.
It's not mine, it's my mother's.
What a pity. He's such a charming man.
Oh, you see, maybe you can't vote for him.
He had a lovely handshake.
Flesh to flesh, they call that, don't they?
That's not all. He gave me something.
What was that, Miss Jones?
A ballpoint.
I would have thought that contravened the regulations.
And he had a lovely smile.
Yes, but you can't vote for a smile, Miss Jones. It isn't this world. I mean, you must vote for party and principle. And we must stick together. We must have party loyalty. Hey, coming to vote, Ruth? Oh, God, you never give up, do you?
Have you decided?
No, I'm absolutely torn. Everyone's so convincing.
Well, you can't vote for them all. It's not the three draws.
Ruth, you promised.
Now, look, you keep out of this. You can't bribe Miss Jones with a sunshade and a few beads.
I told you which way to vote.
Oh, did you hear that? See, I told you. Yes, in this country, the women do as they're told. No women's lib out there. Oh, march 10 paces behind with a pot on your head.
Actually, Philip, I do have a mind as well as a body.
Yes.
Of course, I just thought you were more intelligent than to be influenced by Rigsby.
Well, there's somebody else coming to see how we're going to vote. Right, you better make up your mind, Miss Jones. Time's running out. Oh, Colonel de Vere Brown, this is an unexpected pleasure. Come in, come in.
Thank you. Roper, better, heel.
Oh. Yes.
I just called Mr.
Don't you remember me?
What?
You must have seen me standing around the billiard room.
I don't quite follow.
Down the club.
Yes, I thought your face was familiar.
Yes, yes. You'll know me better once we've met over the green bays.
Oh, of course. I'm glad to see you're one of the faithful, Ragsby.
Oh, yes, Colonel de Vere Brown, yes. Yes, you can count on me.
Good man. I was just doing the rounds, trying to flush a few more out.
Yes, of course, yes.
Roper, come here.
No.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right, it'll scrape off. Lovely dog, isn't it?
Yes, wonderful mouth. Well, have you got your people out yet?
Well, it's been very hard work, Colonel.
Yes, but we mustn't give up.
No, of course not, no.
I flushed out quite a few down the road.
Yes. Well, of course, you've got the Labradors.
What?
How's the bang? How's the shooting gone this year?
Oh, not so good.
Oh.
The birds all got this dreadful disease, all flapping around on the floor.
Oh, dear, foul pest. Yeah, oh, it's very nasty, yes. As a matter of fact, I'm something of a shot myself, Colonel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, you know. Quick eye, natural reflexes, sudden movement, whir of feathers, and I'm round, Ba-dum! Another one for the pot.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Well, we're having trouble getting your people out here.
Yeah, well, it's been a bit of an uphill task, Colonel. I'm afraid they don't appreciate the finer things of life around here. I'm afraid that they're mostly communists,
Oh, I'm not surprised, Ragsby. Just look at this place. See the damp. You know what this is, don't you? The unacceptable face of capitalism.
What?
How much do they charge for the rent here?
What do you mean?
Oh, how much a week?
6.
6? Scandalous. You ought to put him in front of the rent tribunal. Don't worry, Ragsby, I understand. Frightened of the landlord. Nasty piece of work, I suppose. Well, we intend doing something about this place when we get in. Probably have it pulled down. Build some flats for single tenants. Stop all this exploitation.
Just a minute, you can't pull this place. Now, this is my home.
Don't worry, you'll be all right. We'll find you a place.
Find me a place. Look, I am the landlord, you great puddin'.
What?
You're supposed to be on my side. You're supposed to protect the landlord.
Not your sort of landlord, Ragsby. I remember you now. You're the chap they disqualified from the billiards competition for wetting the end of your opponent's cue.
That was a lie.
The party can do without people like you, Ragsby.
And I can do it. Rigsby! And I can do without you, you great public school twit. Oh, you wouldn't play billiards with me, would you? Not good enough. No, just because I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Yes, well, I can get along without you, mate. I'm a self-made man. I'll go and get out of here and take those dirty tights with you before I set the cat on them. Go on.
Don't worry, Ragsby.
Go on. Yes.
And don't bother to come into the billiard room again, Ragsby.
I won't. Rigsby!
Oh, come on, Ruth. The polling booth will be shut by the time you've made your...
Where are those placards of yours?
Yeah, why?
Here, I'll tell you why. There's just been a 10% swing to the left. That's why.
Mr. Rigsby, you said...
Never mind what I said. I can change my mind. How does that song of yours go?
The people's flag is bloody red. It's shouting all